What's up, guys? Different video today. For those of you guys new to the channel, this is mostly a toy channel. It's a hobby channel of mine. Not the sort of topic that I normally cover, but I wanted to talk about this because I've been thinking about it a lot the last few days, and I just wanted to talk about it. So Disney's Indiana Jones 5 has come out the past week, and it's losing money. It's not doing well at the box office. And Disney is, like, the stock has downgraded because of growth uncertainty. And I'm just thinking about Lucasfilm and sort of where Star Wars and, like, some of these IPs have gone since they've acquired it. And there's been a lot of, like, negativity from some of the, some of the employees over at Disney, like Kathleen Kennedy and Phoebe Walker, have been pretty condescending and insulting of fans who dislike the products that have been put out, have been vocal about it. They're blaming basically the box office disaster on the fans right now, saying that people who are talking about it on the internet are intentionally trying to ruin the market for them, that they're man babies, childish, immature, whatever. And I wanted to talk about why I think that the reception of a lot of the Disney products surrounding these IPs have been so poorly received. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. When I was a kid, we were given this Star Wars Special Edition VHS or whatever, and I saw it, and it blew my mind. I was an instant fan. I saw Phantom Menace in theaters. It was the first midnight showing of a movie I ever saw when I was like 10. I saw all of the movies in theaters since then. And like, I love the video games, I love the books, the expanded lore, which is now Legends or whatever. And I was excited when Disney bought Star Wars, or bought Lucasfilm. I was excited to get new Star Wars. I knew that Legends wasn't going to be canon anymore. I was like, okay, well, let them cook or whatever. I was hyped. And The Force Awakens came out, it was all right. I saw it a couple times in theaters, and, it was all right. It was really felt very samey as A New Hope, I think intentionally. I wouldn't have gone that direction, but I didn't hate the movie. There were some things that really concerned me when I got out of it. Things that didn't make sense to me. And I think honestly, that first movie is where things really went wrong. A lot of people blame the following movie, The Last Jedi. And I don't think it's The Last Jedi that messed it up. I think it's the first movie. They set up Rey Skywalker, who is, a Luke Skywalker clone, basically, orphaned on a planet, doesn't know who her parents are, gets sucked into this rebellion, ends up with a lightsaber, and then turns Jedi. The issue that I had with Rey is, like, she just straight to the top. Like, as soon as she got that lightsaber, she fought Kylo Ren, beat him. Like, was using, like, the Force and stuff. Like, who is this person? Like, this is something that needs to be trained. Like, I think this is where Disney, they don't understand Star Wars. Like, the Force isn't magic. Like, people don't just, like, know how to do it or whatever. Or, like, the thing about George Lucas is he made everything grounded. It felt real and tangible. Like, the laws of the universe he created made sense. And it felt cohesive. And then the Disney movies, when they came along, it's like they didn't quite get it. And so they made a lot of decisions that didn't feel like they made sense. The Force didn't work the same. There's characters that can utilize it that you don't feel like they should be able to because they haven't had any training, and it's been established in the past that they need to train. We've seen characters struggle to lift rocks and things like that while training. And she picks up a lightsaber and beats this antagonist who's clearly been trained and is familiar with the Force, and it just didn't make sense. And that was concerning for me. And I wanted to like Rey because I love the expanded lore. I love the Solo twins. I love Ben Skywalker, and one of those twins is a chick, and she's awesome. Mara Jade is awesome, so I was hyped. Like I want a strong female Jedi. That would be sick on the big screen. But they did it wrong. It's just wrong. And then Finn was the biggest waste of a character. Finn should have been a Jedi. That was a waste, such a waste. When I saw him with the lightsaber in the trailer, I was like, oh my god. He's a defector stormtrooper turned Jedi. That's freaking awesome. And they didn't do it. They did nothing with this character. They made him a coward in the first movie. And then, he's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm brave now. And then in the second movie, he's a coward again. And then he does it's the same arc through each movie. It's bad writing. It's bad character development. And then Luke is my hero, okay? Like, when I was a little kid, I wrote a fan letter to him, and I got back like a signed portrait from him in a letter, and it was like huge for me. Like, that was amazing. And unfortunately, I don't have that anymore. I lost it as a kid when we moved. But Luke is a very important character to me. It's some of these characters shape you as you're growing up. Like, they're integral to your growth as a person. They're heroes. And Luke Skywalker was one of my major heroes as a kid. And they broke him. Broke him in such a fundamental way. Luke Skywalker, when we left him in Return of the Jedi, had just saved his father, had risked death in order to save his father, potentially save his father, and get him back to the light side. Was really willing to die for his father. And then we find out in The Last Jedi, he's abandoned his family and his friends on a tiny little island. He looks like a hobo. He's lactating an alien and is jaded because he had a bad dream and attempted to kill his nephew. He had a bad dream that his nephew might go to the dark side and then decided, I'm going to kill him. What? And not only that, but he doesn't get redemption. He doesn't even say, okay, yeah, let me fix this. I'll come with you and we'll try to fix it together. The solution is he shows up as a force projection. He doesn't even get off the island. He's still the hobo sitting on the island doing a force projection, and that's his redemption. And then he dies from projecting himself. Does nobody proofread anything? Like, who thought that was a good idea? And so that movie got more backlash than any of the Star Wars movies, I think, ever. And so they go, okay, we got to course correct. So they do Rise of Skywalker, and they try to stuff as many Easter eggs and nods to previous series or whatever as possible. It's like they stuffed 3 movies in one. The Death Star's back, Palpatine's back, everything's back. And it doesn't make sense. It makes 0 sense. How is the Death Star, how are there chunks of the, how? It doesn't make sense. And then Rey force heals Kylo. Force heals. What? Force heals him. You know the thing that Anakin went to the dark side to try to learn, killed a bunch of people and shit? Went out of his way to try to learn this supposed thing to save Padme. The whole reason, he turned to the dark side, and Rey just knows how to do it. She can just do it. It never gets addressed. She never gets taught it. She spent 2 days on the island with Luke, and now she can force heal people, which has never been a thing. It's never been confirmed a thing that you can just, back from the dead. You're making all the plot points from the previous movies, from the things that made the franchise iconic, redundant. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted Palpatine back. Nobody wanted Palpatine back. It's just a way to try to get fans back into the theater, and the movie wasn't good. And like Jon Favreau, he knows what he's doing. Dave Filoni, he knows what he's doing. These are the people that did the Clone Wars. They do the Mandalorian. There's been some missteps, but they know what they're doing. Obi-Wan, I liked. I think it had some issues. I think it could have been chopped up and cut down a little more. I think there's some characters that could have been completely cut out of it. I think they could have added things in, but the interaction between Obi-Wan and Anakin, I loved. I loved seeing that. They could have maybe threw in a little more budget, maybe not done it in, pitch black dark with nothing visual going on in the background. They could have put a little more into that, but it is what it is. I loved that interaction with Obi-Wan and Anakin. But Disney keeps trying to stencil Star Wars on top of Hollywood blockbuster movies, and it doesn't work. That's not what Star Wars is. It's not like Marvel. Marvel worked because nobody gave a crap about those characters. Nobody gave a crap about those comic books. They weren't selling that well. The characters were not very popular. Nobody gave a crap about Iron Man. Nobody gave a crap about Thor or Loki or any of the Avengers. Maybe the Hulk. Maybe. Nobody cared. That's why Marvel got sold, because they weren't selling. The comic books weren't doing well. These were not characters that were popular before these movies came out. And then Iron Man did really well. And then they kept going, and the characters got progressively better, and then they were able to do more. Big Hero 6, comic book was not popular. Guardians of the Galaxy, not popular. These are not popular characters. These are characters that have become popular because they just clean-slated them, basically, and just, really shaped that world. But Star Wars is not starting from zero. You have to follow the rules of the Star Wars universe, or else it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It doesn't feel cohesive, and it doesn't work. And they keep trying to do it. It doesn't matter how many times they do it. They keep trying to stencil Star Wars on top of crap, and it looks like Star Wars, but it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It doesn't follow the rules of Star Wars. It doesn't work. They have to stop. They have to quit. They have to take a step back, and they have to go, what is it that makes Star Wars Star Wars? Go talk to Dave Filoni. He works for you. Talk to him. He knows what's going on. Or put him in charge. Put somebody that understands the IP into the seat who's calling the shots on this crap. Because whoever's doing it now, Kathleen Kennedy, whoever, has no idea. Just does not understand the series. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, it sucks. It's like, I don't want to watch Star Wars anymore. Like, it just sucks. Like, I don't want to watch Andor. I don't want to watch The Acolyte. I don't want to watch the Disney trilogy. Like, I haven't finished Mandalorian Season 3 all the way through. I haven't finished Boba Fett. It's just... They're not good. They're not good. The Mandalorian has been good, but I've seen the Jack Black stuff, bro. Jack Black shouldn't be in Star Wars. I love Jack Black, but it's jarring. Why? Why would you put Jack Black in Star Wars? Why? Let's just throw Brad Pitt in there. Let's throw Beyonce in there while we're at it. Like, that's just... If we're just gonna jar everybody out of, like, the fantasy of Star Wars, then just doesn't matter. Throw whoever into it. Like, the thing about Star Wars was that intentionally was so far removed from our reality. You never saw a piece of paper in Star Wars. The Last Jedi was the first time you ever saw a book in Star Wars. You never saw paper. You never saw pens. You never saw anything that, like, technologically or whatever, that you would find in our world. It just, everything works differently. And that's what, it was done meticulously, so it felt legitimate. It felt real. And it was such a good fantasy to remove yourself away from reality. And it doesn't do that when you're sticking Hollywood comedians into Star Wars. It doesn't work. It's just like there's just like a lot of bad decisions. I don't get it. I really don't. That's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to rant. I really hope Disney fixes this stuff, man, because I want to be invested in these things. Like, I'm excited for Ahsoka. I'm definitely gonna watch Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka, but I don't know, man. They're just like ruining my heroes. They're ruining my childhood heroes. Like, who else is left? Like, they've ruined Han Solo. They've ruined Luke Skywalker. They've ruined Indiana Jones. Like, and it's not just Lucasfilm. It's their other properties, too. Like, I saw the Peter Pan remake on Disney Plus, and it's one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's so dreary and depressing. And I've got a Peter Pan quote tattooed onto my arm. So, like, I've read the book. Like, I enjoy the story. I enjoy the history behind the author and all of that. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. It's one of the most depressing things I've ever watched in my life. And the book's depressing. But that movie, like, they sucked all of the color out of it. They sucked any ounce of joy out of the story. It's so depressing. And Disney's been doing this a lot with their Disney Plus movies and remakes. Is they, like, the color grading. They suck every ounce of color out of everything. And it's just gray and monotone and dreary and depressing looking. And the plots are dreary and depressing. Like, and then they take the heroes that are optimistic, that are like, that have integrity, and they suck everything out of them too. Why? Why do they keep doing this to everything? Like, are they just, like, what's the point? I don't understand why they're trying to suck every ounce of joy out of every property that they have. Am I the only one that feels that way? I don't know. I don't know, man. This is why I watch anime now. This is why I just watch anime. Because they don't do this. Like, it's optimistic. It's fun. It's lighthearted. Like, there's good action. There's strong heroes. I just watch anime. Screw it, bro. Screw Hollywood. They're just literally destroying everything. I'll just watch Japanese media.